Hello Sky, here is your sewer scope from today's inspection. That's the basement area. This is the main sewer stack right there. Nice. Generally it's not that easy or typically easy to gain access in an older house. This was a breeze to get into the pipe, so that was a positive. Another positive is that you're, from what I can tell, cast iron from start to finish. The reason why I said it that way is there's so much buildup in the pipe that it's kind of an expectation that that's going to be cast iron because it does corrode on the inside, and then when it gets coarse like that, it does tend to catch organic matter, cooking grease, fats, things like that. But I can't tell for sure. That's an inlet right there, so somebody cut in that inlet. I don't know if it's a fixture somewhere in the house or if it's a clean out somewhere in another part of the basement or on the outside of the foundation wall. When there's this much corrosion and buildup, and it gets worse as we go along. I can't say for sure what the actual pipe is, just because it can't see the surface. I mean, there's indicators. I'm 95% sure that it's cast iron. You can see some of the joints like right there. That was a connection joint. But you're not going to be able to tell until somebody comes in and does a job on this and cleans it out. My guess is that this pipe hasn't been touched in decades, if at all. It's pretty well built up, and again, especially as you get towards the latter stages. When a pipe gets rough like this, when it does have buildup on the bottom, it also has a tendency to catch things. Paper products would be the best example. Hopefully nobody's flushing wipes down the toilet, but it tends to catch things, and what will end up happening is you create these little kind of dams in the pipe, and the water tends to back up. You'll see that up ahead. On the return version, I keep the camera rolling, and paper products right there. You'll see that for the most part, a lot of it has calcification around a connection joint right there. You'll see that a lot of the water has dissipated or is trying to run out. The camera actually does do a job on kind of pushing some stuff out through the pipe. So, but again, there's no substitute for getting in there, cabling out the pipe, cutter heads, Mr. Rooter, whatever you want to call it, and there's more calcification coming up right here. That's buildup on the joint. But clearing this out, descaling the pipe, getting rid of all the buildup at the bottom, knocking all this out. And then once it's clear, I would always recommend re-videoing the pipe, just to, once you do have that visibility, being able to actually see what's going on. And again, this is what I was talking about how much it built up towards the latter stages of the pipe. Assuming that we're still in cast iron, it could have transitioned over to clay. Hard to tell. It does kind of have that clay-like look to it, but again, I'm going to hold off and defer until after the pipe is cleaned, and have whoever re-videos the pipe to give their 2 cents on what the material is. No physical damage that I can see at this stage, no defects, there's no failure in the pipe. I didn't have any problems getting through to the end. Again, here we're underwater. We'll pass through this. I don't believe that it's any more than a couple of inches on the bottom of the pipe. The camera head is not terribly large, so it doesn't mean that like this, the whole pipe is not completely filled up with water. It's just that the diameter of the camera head is much smaller than the diameter of the pipe. So And again, we're pushing some of this gunk through here as well. And here up ahead, right there, is the drop into the city. Coming up, one tick here. And there we go. That's the city connection right there. So 147 feet. It's a pretty long pipe, longer than I had expected. But we made it all the way to the end. Please read through the written report for recommendations, descriptions, some still pictures. I'm going to keep the camera head rolling like I had said. Please feel free to watch the return journey, and as always, don't hesitate to reach out to me if I can be of service or if I can answer any questions.